All right. So what I was going to say is you gave me a perfect segue to move over to Mike and go into my next question. So, transformation is not changing our as-is processes. And while we were prepping for this session, Mike, you made a comment of the idea that change is often dressed up as transformation, but
Yeah.
it's not actually transformation itself. Can you expand on that idea a little bit and maybe dive into that last point that Francis made?
Yeah, I'm going to start off by unusually agreeing with Francis. I think that when he talked about RPA and automation and putting robots into your organization, that for me is not transformation at all. What that is about embalming your 20th century redundant processes and joining up largely redundant legacy systems, so that I think is often dressed up as transformation. I think I would refer to as trying to make a dinosaur run a lot faster, but it doesn't actually achieve long-term sustainability. In the light of climate change, I guess. So transformation for me, and these words. I'm very old. These words have been around forever. I mean, I was head of transformation at Barclays. Back in the last century, I was head of transformation at the Prudential. At the beginning of this century, long before we had the word digital, and perhaps we were working with the invention of the internet. So transformation has been around for a long time, and for me, it's about looking at fundamental change, reinventing organizations to create new value, and that means change which is associated with fixing things or reducing cost in particular areas, is absolutely change, and continuous improvement is absolutely necessary to create value. But the true transformation is really reinventing the value for your customers, for your organization, for all of your stakeholders, shareholders, and so forth, right? And this idea of tapping the word digital, which was one of my horrible words, which is completely undefined. Nobody really understands it. At the end of the day, for me, the 21st century is about processes where humans touch things only because they have to, or because customers want to speak to somebody, but everything else is a free flow of data from front to back. And I think that's the big change. That's what's coming, and moving away from, what's been happening over the last 10 years, which is what I call islands of transformation, or islands in truth of change, where you fix certain departments or functions, or put in a bit of automation between two systems, which means that a customer going through your organization enters it with a bit of digital, ends up in an analog department, finds digital somewhere else, and immediately is then into another analog process, and eventually it's in your core systems. So end-to-end visionary change is the nearest thing you'll get to transformation.